So I want to talk today about the hand and a half sword, or more commonly known as the bastard sword. More importantly, I want to talk about Jon Snow's bastard sword. Of course, Jon Snow being the bastard in Game of Thrones for House Stark and whatnot. Anyway, so he has Longclaw, which is a bastard sword. But and this is my bastard sword, or hand and a half sword right here. More specifically, Jon Snow's sword looks very similar to this. Very similar. The only difference is his has the wolf's head here on the pommel. That's what the pommel is the wolf's head. Now, the thing about the hand and a half sword, or the bastard sword, is it is a one-handed or two-handed weapon. Now, the reason why it was made like this, number one, it's very light. It starts off with a wide blade and then it tapers off. It's got a little bit of a fuller. You can't really see it on the video, but trust me, it's there. It has the crossguard, which is very practical. You definitely don't want your fingers sliced off. And it's relatively light. I can swing it one-handed pretty easy. I mean, I've trained in swords for some time now, and I could easily wield this with, like, a shield, which shields are very, very good for keeping people alive. That's why modern day SWAT teams carry shields into places where they may get shot. So, a bastard sword, it's a long sword, or a longer sword, that you can use with a shield if you need to. I don't have a shield, but But you can also wield it with two hands. You can see this is a hand and a half sword, so the handle only comes about one hand length, and then about another half or another inch, and then you get to the pommel. But especially with my hand size, I can easily use a two-handed grip easily onto the pommel, and if I need to use that extra force, I can easily, and it's very comfortable. And I suspect that historical bastard swords were probably looked a lot like this. Now, granted, this is a modern interpretation, but I imagine they looked a lot like this, and just judging from the pictures and the drawings I've seen, they looked a lot like this. Specifically, I think the pommel had a lot to do with it, because I'm right-handed, so generally I'll put my right hand here up by the guard, and if I need to use a two-handed grip, I will put my weak hand underneath it to kind of give leverage. But, so generally I will use it right-handed, but I've also trained to use it left-handed. I'm not as good left-handed, but I can do it. And if, I need to swamp, I can do it. And I can hold it this way. Now, the problem I have with Jon Snow's sword is he has the bear-shaped pommel, which it looks cool, obviously. But I like the symmetrical round pommel here because it's very comfortable however you hold it. It's very comfortable, especially for, my size hand. It fits almost perfectly. But if you have the animal's head, specifically the snout, digging into your hand, I imagine that's going to get very irritating. Here is an example of another type of sword. This is the Cold Steel Time Machete. It's patterned after the Burmese Da sword, which is similar to a katana a little bit. This is what we use in Krabi Krabong, which is a Thai sword fighting and other weapons and whatnot. And generally, it's used one-handed. Sometimes, with a pair, depending on what you're doing with it. And I can wield it very easily with one hand. However, it's a very long sword, and it's got a very long handle. It's about, almost as long as the blade. And if I need some more power, I will just put a second hand here. I can put it up here, down here. That way I can get a really good chop. And I mean, this thing will cleave right through somebody.